What is up, heathens? How you guys doing today? I am here with Casper from Atheist Republic. If you guys don't know, they have a rather large Facebook page and social media following in general. They work a lot with atheists in Middle Eastern countries and just working with people in Middle Eastern countries in general. They've done a lot of good work over there, and they've been going through a lot of stuff here recently. Casper, do you want to take us through, what's been going on?
Yeah. Last week we experienced two issues of having our page on Facebook unpublished by Facebook, thanks to mass reporting by Islamic groups that basically form these groups specifically to target and mass report any pages or even personal profiles that they deem to be anti-Islamic. Anybody that says anything honest about the Quran or anything of that nature, you're liable to get on their radar if you've got a big enough following. Of course, Atheist Republic, we have 1.6 million followers. So we are definitely on the radar as far as social media goes. What these groups do is they form these groups and allow members in who are Muslims, and they basically outline exactly how to target pages and personal profiles of people that they deem anti-Islamic, and how to mass report them and take advantage of Facebook's reporting algorithms to have them shut down.
Okay, well, I wonder how might they go about doing that? Like, how do they target?
Basically, if you go to one of these groups, what you're going to see is in their description, you're going to see a very specific outline of how to report a page, or how to report an individual image or an individual post, or how to report an individual profile. They go through very specific steps of how to do that. When you go into someone's page or whatever. And then they get together, they'll start a thread and say, hey, this is the page that needs targeting. So as many of you that see this message, you need to go to this page. You need to follow these exact steps and report this page for harassment or whatever the case may be. And everybody makes the same report over and over again. So what happens is Facebook's automated systems receive anywhere from, I think one of the biggest groups that does this has a little over 3,000 members. So basically speaking, Facebook could receive 3,000 individual reports on a page with the exact same problem. They say that this page is harassing me or someone I know, and then they get 3,000 of these reports flooding their automated systems. And the automated systems are set up so that their algorithm says that there's a threshold. So once they receive so many of the exact same reports, then Facebook automatically, their automated system automatically unpublishes your page or blocks your page, suspends the admins. There's many different steps to it. And after enough time, Facebook will just remove the page. Of course, the problem with this is there is no actual person. There's no actual people that review any of this. It's all done by an automated system using an algorithm. So very easy to exploit as long as you know how the system works. You can exploit it. Of course, anybody that knows anything about technology knows that. If you understand the system, you can always exploit it. And that's what they've done. They figured out how the system works. They know how to exploit it. They are able to coordinate together and exploit the system to specifically target people. So realistically, it's targeted harassment. Because the pages like Atheist Republic, when they report us, we haven't actually violated Facebook's terms of service at all. We've never violated Facebook's terms of service ever. If any of our posts or images or anything gets removed, it's not because it violates the Facebook terms of service, because none of them do. We know the terms of services very well for Facebook. We know the rules, and we follow them explicitly. So it's not like we're actually doing anything against Facebook's rules. But of course, like I said, this is an automated system that relies on an algorithm. So all it looks at is how many people reported this thing for this specific thing, and is it enough to, exceed our threshold and have it removed.
Yeah. Now I know this past week, Atheist Republic kind of went through several of these steps. I believe first you had the page access restricted, or like access to certain page tools or options or something like that was restricted, and then you guys got removed from the feed altogether, not unpublished, just your posts were removed from any feed. And then finally, you got unpublished. Is that right?
Actually, no. What happened was we woke. I woke up and our page had been targeted and mass reported at around 3 o'clock in the morning on I think Monday or Tuesday of this last week, and they had unpublished our page while everybody pretty much was asleep. I mean, we most of our people that work on the page and stuff, and the admins and stuff, we're here in the U.S., so most of us were asleep when this happened. So I woke up Monday morning to, of course, first thing after I take a piss, I'm looking at my phone. It's just, I'm a technology junkie. I'm a social media junkie. I have a little bit of shame in that, but not much. But yeah, so one of the first things I do every day is look at my Facebook feed. And of course, one of the first things I see is your page has been unpublished. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And we don't get any information other than that, just that your page has been unpublished. And we're like, why? What the hell happened? So we have to look into what's going on there. And Facebook's not going to give you any more information because they don't have real people, taking care of this. So basically they just say, hey, your page was reported and it violated our community standards and we've unpublished it. So we set out to engage people on social media, engage all of our friends, you, Caitlin, several other people. We went to the Friendly Atheist and just have engaged people and been like, hey, can you help get the word out about this? What's going down? Our page has been shut down. Nobody can see our post. And what happens when your page gets unpublished is, as an admin or an editor on the page, you can see the page, but nobody else can. Any of our 1.6 million followers, they couldn't see shit. It was just gone. You can't search for it. It just doesn't exist anymore. After about 3 hours from the time that we found out about it, that morning, the page was republished. And they came back and they said, okay, your page has been republished, but it's restricted. So if we get any more reports on it, we're gonna pull it again. And of course, what happens? They got more reports, and they pulled it again. So last week, within a time span of less than 48 hours, our page was unpublished twice. It's back up again, and for now, but we don't know when and if it'll go back down. Of course, we're going to keep getting reported, and that is what we're trying to deal with now. How can we work to figure this out with Facebook? How can we get Facebook to pay attention to what's going on here, and pay attention to the fact that they're actually allowing people to break their terms of service? Because there's no doubt about this. This is harassment. And under Facebook's terms of service, harassment is one of those things that should get you kicked off Facebook. You're not allowed to harass people. That's a definite violation of their terms of service. But yet we have a group of 3,000 to 5,000 people that are targeting and specifically harassing us, and ex-Muslim pages and several other pages and personal profiles out there. So we're trying to bring attention to it. We're trying to say, hey, Facebook, this is fucked up. you guys have got to give us something here. Is there any way we can get some sort of whitelist on Facebook that says, hey, these pages have been targeted repeatedly. They haven't actually broken community standards. When they're mass targeted, we need some real person to evaluate these claims and see if they're justified or not.
Yeah, I get the sense, at least from my experience with Facebook, is they give no fucks about providing any kind of actual customer service, I guess, or any kind of clear line of communication between content creators that, mind you, help keep people on the site, as well as keep Facebook, I guess, relevant. And I think that is one of their biggest shortcomings is not providing a clear line of communication. At least on YouTube, you have multi-channel networks and all that kind of thing that where they provide like a direct line of communication between like the network and YouTube, so that if there is a problem, something can be done about it. Whereas on Facebook, there's just nothing there for it. I'm kind of curious. Is there anything specific that you're doing that you can, guard against this kind of mass reporting, or are you just kind of at the whim of this group of 3,000 people?
Well, here's our issue. Atheist Republic, our main page, is probably one of the most free speech friendly pages on all of Facebook. We do not keep theists from coming to our page. We do not ban people for posting theistic stuff. The only way you're going to get banned off of our page is if you're physically threatening physical violence of someone, or doxing them, or something of that nature, something that actually breaks Facebook's terms of services. We're gonna boot you off the page. But other than that, we let anybody in. And that's kind of been what we've wanted to do. One of the great things about Atheist Republic is, no matter how vehemently you disagree with us, you are welcome to go into our follower section and post your own personal thoughts on there. You're welcome to comment on anything that we post. No matter how fucked up we think your position is, we're not going to say, hey, no, you're not allowed here. You're not welcome here. We'll argue with you. We will try to have some dialogue. That's what we want to do. So unless we decided, hey, we're going to be more restrictive, we're going to start kicking people out over, just your religious ties and stuff, there's really very little we can do. Other than, seek an avenue of redress with Facebook as far as bringing this to their attention. The area where we can kind of do that is by making it known on social media, by actually reaching out to everyone that we know and saying, hey, we need to bring attention to this, because when we're gone, you're probably next on the list. When you get rid of the biggest guy, then the next smallest and the next smallest, until they manage to get rid of everybody, then everybody's going to be targeted. So we have to bring attention to this. We have not gone the route of actually encouraging people to report these groups. Because honestly, exploiting the algorithm is what we're pissed off about. And if we invited people to exploit the algorithm themselves, I mean, it's hypocritical as shit, to do that. We could stop it. We could probably get them removed, so at 1.6 million followers, we get people motivated. We could probably get people removed. But we haven't done that. And we're almost certainly not going to do it. Because, from our perspective, that's unethical. It's unethical to exploit an algorithm just to shut somebody down and to silence them because you disagree with them. I could understand it if we were actually out here promoting violence or, inciting violence, calling for violence. But we piss people off. We hurt their feelings. We offend people. And, that's not a reason to silence anybody.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have to say that it seems to me like those that are radically religious or very extreme in their religious beliefs seem to be the easiest ones to really infuriate just by the smallest things. I know at one time I was posting some religious memes that were making fun of Islam, and I got somebody in my message inbox that was telling me that he was gonna fuck my mother and rip my insides out and something like that. I don't know, but I mean it wasn't anything big. It wasn't anything that I did that especially for Islam or anything like that. It was just that they are the most easily butthurt.
Well, yeah, and it kind of, I find it hilarious because a lot of these people are complaining. They will come on the page and they'll comment and they'll be like, "You shouldn't talk about Islam. All you do is target Islam. You're targeting Muslims. You're just speaking out against Muslims." I'm like, motherfucker, read my body of work. I bash Christianity so goddamn bad. I mean, come on. I rewrote the Bible as the drunk history version of the Bible. It's full of fucking profanity and calls God a wizard. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we just bash Islam. That's what we fucking do. Come on, man.
Yeah, I love it when I get comments like this because they'll always come in the form of, "Oh, I guess this is a purely this particular subject bashing page." Like it's always like they always just want to see what they want to see. But kind of going back to the efficacy of report or having your followers report the group and whatnot. I mean, I really think that course of action is more or less like attacking a symptom without attacking like the primary cause. And
Yeah.
so if you get that group shut down or whatnot, there's another one's just going to pop back up that's going to exploit the same kind of hole. So, I mean, what you'll end up doing is just fighting off all of these different groups, and eventually, it's just going to stop being effective. And so what the solution I feel at least is for you, not YouTube, but Facebook to work some restrictions into their algorithm as far as the reporting goes, because I mean this is a lot like a distributed denial of service attack. Is basically what it's like, and you have multiple servers out there that are programmed directly to prevent denial of service attacks. And for those of you that don't know about distributed denial of service attacks, basically you get a lot of packets of information sent to one server port or one server, a multitude of ports maybe, and what it does is it crashes the server. And that's basically what has happened to Atheist Republic here, as well as the ex-Muslims of North America. They received a distributed denial of service attack, and Facebook should be able to implement something to prevent that. So,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the? Oh, go ahead.
No, that's a great analogy for what it is. It really is like a DDoS attack. And like you said, there's ways to prevent that. And honestly, one of the best ways is whitelisting. When you can clearly see that this is happening to specific groups, the specific groups are being targeted repeatedly over and over again. It's not a hard thing to whitelist them and say, when this happens, we automatically shut down the reports. We don't shut down the page. And at that point, we stop getting flooded, and having our servers flooded, and we can address the problem and look at the problem and say, is this actually a real problem? The thing about that is you have to have a real person to do that. You have to have somebody to go in here and actually review it rather than an algorithm that says, oh, okay, well, this happened, so this is it. So yeah, that's where we feel like we need to go with that. We have to work with Facebook. We have to find a way to get a hold of someone in Facebook, make Facebook see what's happening, and given it a lot of thought, that one of the best ways we can do that is just making them realize that they're attacking their own revenue stream. But because honestly, this is a corporation, and that's what they really care about, whether their revenue stream is attacked. And we're talking about a page with 1.6 million followers. You look at all the ad revenue from that. We buy ads on Facebook to promote blogs and news articles and other things. The books that we write on there to try and help people get their message out. So we're spending money with Facebook. We're not. It's not really the same as a private individual, and using their own personal page. And most of us aren't going to pay for ads on our personal page. We're a paying customer of Facebook, and that. In my mind, that actually changes the dynamic here, because when you're a paying customer, then that contract, those terms of services, they work both ways. So when you start denying services to a paying customer, you get into a different legal arena there of how we can honestly say that, look, you take away a 1.6 million follower group of people that we advertise to, you're taking away revenue stream for us, you're taking away revenue stream for yourself, and potentially there could be some legality issues there if we haven't actually violated the terms of service. So we're looking at a lot of different avenues from which to approach this, and what ethical avenues we can take to approach this. And trying to work with the other people that are having to deal with it, like you said, the ex-Muslims in North America. There's been several other pages over the last few years that have had this done. Our own group has been attacked, our private group. So it's it's a consistent thing that's happened for several years, and we have not been able to really make the impact that we need to bring attention to it and address it. So we're trying to see what other avenues we can take to do that.
Yeah, I was wondering about the group. How many times has the group been taken down in a similar DDoS manner?
Um, I think our group has actually been shut down like 3 or 4 times over the course of like 3 or 4 years. So it's been shut down pretty frequently. The thing is, with the group, it's a lot harder to do. It's a private group. We have a lot of very awesome admin that work that group, that try to make sure that we don't let theists who would be part of these groups get in there to do it, because as a private group, they have to be a member to get in there and actually report the page or report posts and stuff. So our admins work very hard to make sure those people can't get in there and do that. Even so, like I said, we've been reported and shut down several times over the course of the last few years.
Yeah, it's really hard to vet those profiles. I know I've done my fair share of vetting, even though KC might disagree that I've done any. Yeah, the group. She says not a damn thing. But how big is the group now? It's got to be pretty big.
I believe we're currently at a little over 60,000 members. The thing with the group is that it's a very different dynamic than the page. And the group is really meant to offer a community to people, most especially to people who live in restrictive areas of the world, where being honest about their position as an atheist, or their position, their sexuality as a homosexual. So many of these things could actually put their lives in danger. And that's been the biggest reason why it's a private group, and why we work very hard to vet anyone that tries to get into the group, because it puts people's lives in danger when theists come in there. It gives them a chance to dox people, and that could potentially lead to very heinous acts.
Yeah. I know that's one of the big things that we have to worry about with our group, even though it's about 6 times smaller than yours. Still, that's one of the biggest security concerns, and I mean that's why we vet in the way that we do. trying to not allow the more radical of the population in there. Um, but so I'm kind of curious. I know I've done this with my page, but have you officially linked the Atheist Republic group with the page yet?
Um, we we don't really advertise the group on the page, not all that much, but it is available in the search bar, so people can search for it. When you search for Atheist Republic, you'll find the group as well. But we don't really advertise for the group on the page that much because we do have such an open page, and that potentially draws more people just trying to sneak through the back door and get in there. If we get flooded with admission requests on the group, we our admins, if we get 3, 4, 500 submission requests in a day, they can't really vet all of them. So we try to keep it a little bit low key, just to make sure that we're able to actually have the time to properly vet people, to really go through and look through profiles. So it's we love people being part of the group, but at the same time, we want to make sure that it's a safe place for those people who could potentially be in danger just by being honest.
Okay, awesome. I think that's a good plan because I didn't think about getting flooded with so many accounts that would want to get this group shut down. I'm wondering how can like the general person help with this situation there on Facebook?
Um, well, social media works a great deal on trending. So one of the best ways to draw attention to something is to have it trending. So if we could have Atheist Republic trending all throughout social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, everywhere that anybody has social media accounts, that would help to draw attention to it because we're going to keep talking about it on the page. We're going to keep talking about what we can do and what we need to do to help others with this issue. So the biggest thing that just your average person that just wants to take a few minutes out of their day can do is just throw an Atheist Republic hashtag into a little post about this. And really anything that we can get trending all throughout social media so that we can bring attention to it. We got the hashtag Bring Back Atheist Republic trending for a little bit, and it actually brought attention to it enough to have Heat Street write an article about what was happening to us and ex-Muslims, and the Independent also published an article about it. So it's things like that where we can bring attention to it, get the problem trending out there, and that actually brings a lot of attention to it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I think continuing to talk about it, letting Facebook know as well as every other social media that there is a problem on the platform. So besides, talking about the issue with Facebook and everything, what does the road forward look like for Atheist Republic?
Well, we the first time we got shut down, I actually went through the process of basically cloning our main page and setting up a secondary page, and it's still live right now. It's called Atheist Republic Will Not Be Silenced. And so, we're looking at, hey, if this happens again, how do we keep doing what we're doing and try to continue our reach? So, if we already get a secondary page that's got over 1 million followers again, then we're still, we're not losing all that much and we can just keep going. The great thing is we do have a website, atheistrepublic.com. All of our news articles, blog articles, op-ed articles, the links to the books that have been published by Atheist Republic, they're all there. So people can still get our information on the web, and a quick Google search, that it brings us right up. So, I mean, we will still have a presence, regardless of whether we're able to maintain our page or not. But we don't want to lose that following. we probably generate a little over 20,000 unique clicks a day on our website, which pales in comparison to a 1.6 million followers on social media on Facebook. So it's a huge differential there, because if we look at the metrics for everything, a lot of those 20,000 unique clicks are driven by Facebook, by those 1.6 million followers, and them sharing our stuff on Facebook and whatnot. So
Yeah, yeah. I notice most of the clicks that I get often come from my website, and that's because I share them on my Facebook page. And a lot of the external views that I get, at least on my YouTube channel here, come from the website, which is only shared on Facebook. So I mean, there's that. But anyways, well, I'm really glad that you could join me today for this short kind of interview, just to kind of briefly talk about it and let people know that this is happening directly from Atheist Republic. So I really appreciate you coming on to the channel today.
Oh yeah, I really appreciate you having me on and let me talk about it for a little bit and try and bring attention to it. It's great being here. Love what you guys do. Always love hanging out with you.
Yeah, I love having you on here as well. I mean, we had you for the Planned Parenthood, stream that we did to try to support them, which I think we raised about $800 on. Which I mean is a little amount compared to what Pastor Locke has done for the organization, but we're trying our best. But if you guys want to visit any and all of Atheist Republic's links, they are down below. Be sure to be talking about this on social media. Let people know that this is still happening and that this is still very much a problem. Because pretty much at any moment, Atheist Republic could get taken down again if they twerk the right group.
And we will. We definitely will.
Yeah. Well, again, Casper, thank you so much for joining me today, and I guess we'll be talking to you again sometime in the future.
Oh yeah, we'll have another conversation as soon as I finish this fictional book I'm writing. It's going to be great.
Awesome. I know Casey, she just was like, yes.
Yeah, I've been talking about it a little bit on Facebook. I mentioned that the book starts off with the Virgin Mary getting raped by a zombie, so it's going to be a unique book. Oh.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that and read it. Yeah. Casey said sign the copy. So, well, again, Casper, thank you so much for joining me today. Everybody visit Atheist Republic's links down below, and I guess we'll see you heathens later.